My name is Ian Nunes, and I'm a licensed insurance advisor. So I was born in San Jose, California. I made the decision to move at the end of 2021, drove across the country with my girlfriend and our few belongings, and landed in Raleigh, North Carolina. So I enjoy it so far. My entire family is involved in real estate in some way or another. So my dad knew Maz really well. I was looking to get into something other than HVAC. I got in contact with Maz, met the team. I learned a little bit about insurance, and it struck my interest. So I went ahead and decided to go for it. And it was one of the better decisions I've made in my life. Yeah, so when someone calls in, they'll likely be met by Mason or Shannon. And then if you're looking for a new quote, then you'll be transferred right over to me. I'll go ahead and I'll just ask you what you're looking for, what your situation is. And then from that point forward, I'll just collect some information from you. We'll get to know each other a little bit more through that conversation. I can get an idea of what you're looking for and what you need. And then we can start to put together a comprehensive custom insurance plan for you. Yeah. Really, the primary benefit of going with a broker versus a captive agent is our ability to really build a custom insurance plan for you. A captive agent only has access to the guidelines and the one carrier that they work for. We have access to just over 30 different carriers that we're able to try to place those more difficult properties with, or those less than ideal insurance histories and things like that. And then you also have a team of agents who are willing to advise you at any point through the process, explain the process, and turn something that's very intimidating into something that's a lot more understandable and digestible. A very common issue that we run into is that in those unfortunate situations where you lose a loved one, insurance isn't necessarily the first thing that you're going to think about. And a lot of the times those policies will lapse. And that's difficult for a family because that can lead to an increased insurance premium. And you don't want the house to be uninsured while everything's going through probate. So I recently had a client who their mother unfortunately passed away. Insurance policy lapsed because the mortgage company did not make payment on the renewal. So I went ahead and I just worked very closely with them as the will was going through probate to figure out how we should write that insurance policy, how the insurance company wants it. That way we could get a policy in place for them that meets their needs, and we won't have any issues on the back end. So that way they can just be concerned with grieving the loss of that family member. My favorite food it's a tough competition between tacos and pizza. Very easy to make, and I can eat it pretty much every day of the week. So, um, probably like Chicago or New York style. I like a little bit of a thinner crust, but lots of toppings, a lot of sauce. So, absolutely no pineapple on my pizza. I'll take the pineapple, but actually, I'd leave the ham. So when I'm not doing insurance, I'm for the past 2 years been very into golf. It's a very calming sport. It's really fun to get out there with all your friends and just have a good time out on the course for a full day. So I really enjoy that. So my tattoo is really just a reminder to me uh, that working with my hands and helping people out is really what my entire life's goal is. That's what fulfills me, makes me happy. So every time I look down at it, it just reminds me of why I'm doing it. Yeah, so in the trades, we faced a lot of immediate issues. So of course, we got that phone call when it was a little too warm or a little bit too cold. So that helped me kind of address people's concerns in a comfortable manner for them, figure out kind of how to discuss that with them and make them comfortable with the situation. Then from there, you just develop a plan of how you want to attack their issue. And I would say that that was highly transferable over to the insurance market because a lot of the time, people are calling with a last minute problem, and we're more than happy to help them out with that. And that takes a little bit of keeping calm, level head through those conversations, making sure you're understanding what they need, and then from that point forward, just kind of working on exactly what that client requested from you. Really the camaraderie. I think we all have great personalities that really mesh well together. We have great conversations. We have a lot of fun, and we're also able to get serious when need be. And really, we all just have a great time discussing things with each other, and we bounce off of each other, so that way we can collect more information and grow as agents independently. Since moving into North Carolina, of course, I've fallen a little heavier into the countryside, of course, but really from being West Coast born and raised, rap is going to be where it's at for me. A huge influential character in my life is going to be my mom, as well as my sisters. We all grew up together. My mom has been there for every step of the process of me kind of working through the trades, getting into real estate as well. So she's always been there when I need somebody to fall back on, as well as my sisters. And of course, my dad as well has been a huge part of me getting into insurance specifically. And he's always been there anytime I needed him. So really, in California, I did not eat very much fried chicken specifically. It's not great out there, but here it's totally different, and now I'm obsessed with it. So that's a new thing that I've developed. Really, I have a lot of knowledge of heating, air conditioning, and ventilation systems. And that actually does come in handy quite a bit in the insurance world, surprisingly. I did not expect it to. Um, but I also have quite a bit of experience in the real estate field. When I was in California, I worked with a lot of real estate agents. A lot of the jobs that I had were directly involved in that field. So I have a lot of prior knowledge that kind of helped me build who I am today as an insurance agent. So